Hello, everyone. Have you ever wondered why our Christian religion hasn't been more effective in stopping religious wars, genocide of indigenous red and brown people, the enslavement of black-skinned people, hate groups like the KKK, white supremacists, neo-Nazis, Jim Crow laws, internment camps for Japanese Americans, the Holocaust, the genocide of 6 million Jewish people? Hitler was a Catholic. Domestic terrorism, the pandemic of mass shootings of people in schools, churches, synagogues, mosques, at the movies, entertainment venues, and domestic violence killings. I'm L.A. Day, sitting here in my living room at Trollwood Manor in Fargo, North Dakota. I discovered the answer to that question while I was researching about the soul. What I found is very scary, and I've included in my book, Truth is a Casserole. I'd like to read to you a little of what I found. Patriarchal religious doctrine is based on the idea of perpetually warring opposites as good and evil, and that the world order is in the form of a hierarchy with the highest person on the ladder as a white male. St. Augustine's division of mankind into two cities, one sacred and one profane, plays out in real life as mind versus body, humans versus nature, good versus evil, white-skinned people versus dark-skinned people, one true God religion versus different one true God religion. This is sad because the three major one true God religions of Western civilization, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, all began from Abraham. The one consistent outcome of patriarchal organized one true God religions has been terrible inhumanity, constant war, constant breakdown of civilized norms, resurgence of extremist ideas, and demagogues. All three Abrahamic religions worship Yahweh, but have engaged in constant wars since 1208 BC. And to make things worse, Christianity turned morality into a code of laws which are absolute, unchanging being and truth, the same everywhere, at all times, which means ideologies are baked in, and all three one true God religions believe they represent the one true God. Early church writers and philosophers began the practice of interpreting their code of laws into either obey our version of Christianity or you will be persecuted. The insidious way this distorted, bastardized version of Christian doctrine has wormed its way into economics, politics, judicial systems, and all Western institutions has resulted in a dangerous disparity in wealth, increased psychological problems, domestic and global tension, and the destruction of our environment. The Western dualist, one true God, pathway of religious doctrine is the cause of most of the problems we are experiencing today. Misogynism, bigotry, racism, xenophobia, thinking, the despoiling of our environment, all are manifestations of the immoral, erroneous, nonsensical, dysfunctional, and defunct perspective of the world order as perpetually warring antagonists of good and evil. Trump's election with the support from white evangelical leaders is just another example of the ongoing but disproved assumption the world is divided into warring opposites of good and evil. Jesus taught compassion and tolerance and to see the divine in the sick, the poor, and even thieves. We need to understand that we have not got a very solid base upon which to judge others as inferior and immoral and present ourselves as the only legitimate and absolute voice of truth, wisdom, and morality. The definition of the soul is as the heart of a humane society. Christianity needs a new paradigm to function in the way that Jesus taught. We need a new paradigm of a universal, connected soul-spirit return to the perspective of the world soul, where we regard all people and all living beings as our brothers and sisters, as indigenous people do. We know this in our hearts. How often do we hear that people are looking for their soulmate? The best food is soul food. The truest music is soul music. That's it for now at Trollwood Manor.